Welcome back to the podcast called Tell the World, and I'm your host. I hope you guys are having a happy Monday. We are back into a whole nother week. 4th of July is gone, and we are on a whole new week now. That's how fast July have came in. This is how fast July is about to go. This summer is moving fast. I see that we had a lot of crazy weather going on right now. A lot of crazy weather going on in Texas. I see that there's a lot of flight delays out there too. A partner of mine is heading back to New York, and he has been delayed twice. So I'm not sure if he's gonna make it tonight or what into New York, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, how you guys doing out there? Um, so how did my fourth go? My fourth went pretty good. So I went to Fort Jackson, which would be in South Carolina, and I was on that just that base where people come and go train at. And man, it was just mind-boggling of seeing so many soldiers out there, seeing so many people, man, so many people that were out there, but seeing all of these young soldiers, uh, you know, taking a new career path, leaving home, and on a whole new journey to build a life, build a career for their families, for themselves. But just seeing this was just so amazing. I remember at one point, I was against the military, meaning like joining it. But when I saw the people out there, they were doing their training, which was a lot of walking. I believe these guys actually walked over 12 to 14 hours. They had an event out there, so just seeing that was just mind boggling. Just seeing a lot of young soldiers, men and women, in training. And it looked like it was Army. That's what I saw. It was Army. And man, just seeing them, but it's just not seeing them. I think your culture you can really get a culture shock of yourself, of your people, when you don't know enough to understand. That's why I always recommend people to get out, see more of the world, and just don't see it on one view. Go see for yourself to get better and clear understanding. But seeing the black young men, the black young women out there, and they're young. They're looking like they were about 19 and in their 20s. They look so young. But seeing them in training, seeing how they conduct themselves was really amazing. Like seeing that. So, when you don't know something, sometimes you got to go understand and go see. And big ups to them. Big ups to the military out there in Fort Jackson. I think that was just real amazing. Seeing the young men out there and women conduct themselves, and just thousands and thousands of just young people joining the military. I see nothing wrong in it. They're protecting our country. They're protecting things around us that we may go through, y'all. So seeing that was amazing. So um, I'm just, can I say I'm proud of them? Yeah, I can say I'm proud of them. That should be good. I think that's a good thing to say about our young people. Be proud of them. Um, but yeah, so they had a big event out there. So every 4th of July, I think, from what I'm told, they always got an event for the community. They have an event for the soldiers. So my 4th of July was spent with the soldiers. That's how mine was, and I was real honored to be there and hang out with everybody and just enjoy it. I also got a chance to climb a wall again. So they had this wall. I forgot how many feet it was, but it was huge, and you just climb it, and you had to climb it all the way up to the top, and you had to press the button just to indicate that you made it. But as I was climbing it, I was always I always get this sense of being afraid because I'm actually afraid of heights. But you're probably saying, well, you jumped out of a plane. How can you be afraid of heights? Well, I am. I am. So just taking my time, breathing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and just taking a deep breath and not doing too many look downs was best for me. So don't look down when they say that. Don't look down. Just keep focused. Take slight, easy breaths in and out, and just keep focusing on your steps, on your climbing. Just keep focusing on what you're doing. So that was real dope to do that again. I made it to the top, but my only problem was coming down. That was my only problem, was actually coming down. But I did it, y'all. I did it, and I felt proud of myself to do it. Now, right now, we're on a live recording right now. I'm actually doing this video right now that I'll just partially upload some of these episodes on my YouTube page too. So you can check that out too, called Tell the World Podcast. So I'm doing two recordings. I'm doing audio and I'm doing video at the same time. So I can throw up the peace sign like this just to indicate that we're loud and hopefully we're clear. But yeah, so my 4th of July, the fireworks, all of that was good. And just seeing the richness of our people out here, it's just a whole nother world for me when I'm out here. I just see things differently, and it's carefree. And you just try to just soak up the moments and enjoy it, y'all. Just get out there and enjoy it. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all, I'm gonna take a pause on the audio, right? Yes, it's a big culture shock to me when I see things like that. Like, man, seeing my people in their best is so amazing because we saw how many shootings that happened over the weekend during the 4th in Indianapolis, Chicago. Catching a brief of the news this past weekend of the killing and the shootings and stuff in Chicago and Indianapolis was real crazy. Like seeing this on the news, like man, and how in Indianapolis the police just was just not happy with what the parents are allowing their kids to be out late and to be out on the streets, with all of this purging, tearing up the city where you live at. Like, where are the parents at, and why they not, um, having their kids at home where they need to be at safe? And I just have to say, for these cities, that's doing this type of corruption still, there's no excuse for it because there's a lot of good cops out there right now because the culture is changing. The culture of cops are changing. So they've gotten rid of some of these bad cops and they got new cops now. And to see that, young folks are still acting a fool out here, it's just real crazy. I say, ticket the parents. They may not like this, but ticket the parents on this stuff right here because there's a point where you got to know where your kid is at. And if your kid is out on the street causing bad problems, that is a big problem to society. And it's nothing worse than hearing that something has happened to an innocent child, an innocent young person out there getting shot, somebody's loved one. It's crazy, because within Indianapolis, they had found guns and stuff on some of these young people. Like, where do they get these guns? So it's not nothing new that, people can get hold to guns, especially young kids. They can get hold to anything. But the distress on this cop face, um, the commissioner, he could have been the commissioner or the chief, he was very disgusted. And it doesn't look good for none of us. And, we can say that we are starting to see cops clean up their acts and be more community with us, as in conversating with us to get to know each other, so we can have a common ground on their job and understand that they're there for us to protect us. So I thought I would put that out there too. But to seeing the young people at Fort Jackson in the military, I thought that was very enlightening to see because that keeps them from getting into trouble, keeping them busy. And hopefully we can help get some of these other youths in order, get them in line with themselves. Not trying to change them, not trying to spoil their fun, but it's getting real reckless and dangerous out here. So we got to be more concerned about our communities, be more concerned about raising our kids at home because it's not their job to parent our kids. It's our job at home to do that. So I thought I would get that out there too. And also the shooting of these two cops that happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's another second home from where I used to live, which was Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And to see that black officer who died so young, I believe he was on the force for 6 years. That was crazy too. Just seeing that too. Someone's making a call in distress and emergency call, and this call turned out to be this cop or these cops' moments, life and death. One cop survived, the other one died so young. I saw clippings and videos of him, of his mannerisms, and he seemed like a pretty good young man, and had a bright future for himself. But that ended trying to protect, trying to protect the community that we all live in. It's heartbreaking to see that, but when you look at it like that, it's all over America, and it's nothing ever good for us to see. I would hope that you know we would hopefully clean up our acts, or maybe just maybe we need martial law in some of these cities to keep these kids off the street so they can have curfew before 9. Get them in the house before 9. Maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to push for that in some of these cities, because if you keep letting these kids do what they're going to do, they're going to take over. They're going to take over. Maybe I'm just too much of a parent. Maybe I should just probably leave that one alone. But prayers to the family and to the survivor, both in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Respect and prayers for the families on both sides. Yeah, prayers to them. Today early, I was talking to my friend about how the weather has been, and man, I didn't think about it, but today I put it up on my page too, so it's on the YouTube channel. My card, my debit card, just shriveled up. It folded up. It like went like a pancake fold, or maybe a bacon fold. Yeah, let's just call it a bacon fold. That sun, the heat that we've been having, the heat we just had last week in the hundreds, 105, 109, was crazy. It was so hot. It was so hot that my card started to draw up like a piece of bacon. I left it in the car, but when I woke up that morning and I took a look at it, it was almost melting, folding up. That's how hot that sun was beaming through my windows. Man, this is crazy. I was putting up a tent last week too, and I could feel all of that heat. It was like a me coming out of a sonar where it's just real hot, where it just supposed to help. In this case, it was exerting me, dehydrating me. I also got very dehydrated. I got dizzy from that tent, putting that tent up too. So, because the heat coming from the ground was just too much. So, me and my buddy, we jumped into this conspiracy about the sun. And we were saying, this may not be the real sun. This is something else. It's just talk, just chit chat. Maybe something to think about. But this sun is just not the same sun. It's just something different. Like I say, it could be global, but the world is changing, y'all. Look at all this crazy weather just came through Texas, flooding, people dying from floods. And remember, I told you about my friend. His flights have gotten delayed. That's something else about flying and stuff. When the weather's bad in certain places, these planes have to land or have to turn around and go back the other way sometimes, because they may not be able to do 3 hours there where they have to just wait before they land. That's why having enough fuel on these planes is so important to prepare for this. This is where the numbers and the how many miles, all those types of calculation lets you know based on how long that weather's going to be hanging around and stuff, and you having enough fuel. I shouldn't get into that right there, aviation, but it's just some things that I'm used to knowing. But man, this weather has been crazy. If it ain't the heat, it's the storms. If it's not the heat, it's the storms. We can never be happy or satisfied of Mother Nature. Okay, I gave you heat, you complain about it. Now I give you some rain and some storms, and you're still complaining. Well, we don't want the earthquakes. Please, not those. But I believe this weather is getting just more vicious. So I wouldn't be surprised if we'll be seeing something like that more too, like seeing these earthquakes start to happen. We are definitely in a war. I can tell a lot of things are going on. And sometimes you just got to keep living your life and try to ignore some of this stuff. But some of this stuff is becoming just what it is. The world is going mad, y'all. The world is going mad. But if you think about everything, y'all, I think the perspective of looking at everything, sometimes we can look more into what's going on in the world. It's the same as looking how much is going on around you in somebody's life, somebody in your life, putting you through things, taking you through things. It's similar to the world of madness, right? Because sometimes we go through things and sometimes people don't know what we're going through. But imagine everything around you and you're trying to hold that world of yourself together, hold your family together. But it always seems like someone is trying to keep it corrupted, keep it separated. Things like that, real people go through. Real people, things that we don't talk about. We all have a journey, but at the same time, you know, chaos or what we see, what we say, we can't create around us. Or could it be some people could be creating these things around us? You know, it's the pigment of your what imagination. How you wake up versus how you sleep, how you get back up. All of that, what you take with you at nighttime, on your in your mind and on what's on your heart, and then you don't have good inspirations in your dreams. It seems like these things just become your creation around you. I always tell people, um, always think over your thinking. Always think before overthinking. Think of what can you do better, how you can make it better. Sometimes everybody can't go with you to where you're trying to go, to where you want to be. Sometimes you have to do things alone. Even when people fall off, that's what you have to do sometimes, y'all. Sometimes you have to do these things alone by yourself. Everybody is not meant to go with you to the top. They're just not. Just not. A lot of people will just eventually peel off in your life, and they will peel off. Okay, guys, we're going to close the show out. You guys have a blessed day. Have a peaceful night's sleep. And we'll see you next time on Tell the World, the podcast. You guys have a blessed night.